Come closer tonight. I'd like to tell you about a man who possessed almost everything, except a reason to smile. People envied him. They dreamed of living his life. They believed that money had solved all of his problems. His mansion stood on a hill overlooking the entire town. Marble staircases, crystal chandeliers, priceless paintings, servants waiting for every command, every morning a different breakfast, every evening another grand dinner. He had crossed oceans, visited magnificent cities, listened to the world's finest musicians, and collected treasures most people could only dream of. Yet every night, he returned to the same empty silence. Nothing surprised him anymore. Nothing excited him. Nothing made him grateful. The things people spent their entire lives chasing had become ordinary to him. One quiet morning, unable to bear the weight of another meaningless day, he left his mansion and wandered alone into the forest. He wasn't looking for adventure. He wasn't looking for treasure. He simply wanted to escape the emptiness inside his own heart. He lay beneath a great old tree, closed his eyes, and listened to the wind, hoping that somewhere life still held an answer. Just as sleep began to calm his restless mind, he heard footsteps, light, cheerful voices. Two boys no older than 12 were walking along the forest path. The rich man remained still, hidden beneath the shade of the old tree. He had no desire to meet anyone, but something in their laughter made him listen. If someone gave you 1 million coins, what would you do? One boy asked. The other smiled, then gently shook his head. 1 million. That would be far too much. I don't think anyone needs that much. His friend laughed. Really? Then how much would you want? The boy looked toward the little town below. His smile slowly faded. If I had 12 million, he said quietly, I already know exactly where every coin would go. First, I'd build a warm hospital where no poor family would ever be turned away. No mother should have to choose between buying bread and saving her child. He paused, then continued. After that, I'd build a public bath where anyone, rich or poor, could wash with dignity. Clean clothes, warm water, sometimes that's all a person needs to believe in tomorrow again. The first boy listened without saying a word. Then he smiled. And after the hospital, the other boy looked toward the distant town once again. There are children, he said softly, who go to bed hungry. Some have never owned a proper pair of shoes. Some have never held a single book. I'd build a place where every child could eat, learn, and dream. He paused. A gentle breeze moved through the trees. And the old people, he continued, the ones who spent their lives working should never spend their last years alone. I'd build them a warm home, a place filled with kindness, good food, and people who still remember their names. His friend looked at him in amazement. You'd spend everything on other people. The boy laughed quietly. Not everything. I'd save enough to build a beautiful library. A place where children and old people could sit together, read, learn, and never stop wondering. His friend smiled, then counted slowly on his fingers. Wait, the hospital, the bathhouse, the children's home, the home for the elderly, the library, he laughed. You've already spent all 12 million. For a moment both boys became silent. Then one of them placed a hand on his stomach and smiled. I'm suddenly hungry. There's a bakery near the village. Let's buy some fresh bread. The other boy searched every pocket once, then again. His smile faded. Would you lend me just enough for a loaf of bread? This morning I gave my last coin to a little beggar standing by the road. Without another word, the first boy reached into his pocket and handed him a few small coins. Here. You can pay me back whenever you can. They smiled at one another and walked toward the village, laughing as if they owned the world. Hidden beneath the old tree, the wealthy man never moved. But something inside him had. For years he had searched for happiness in places where it had never lived. He had filled his house, but forgotten to fill his heart. Those two boys had owned almost nothing. Yet one of them was willing to give away 12 million he didn't even have. And the little money that he did have, he had already given to someone in greater need. The rich man slowly stood up. He looked toward his distant mansion, then back toward the path where the boys had disappeared. That morning, for the first time in many years, he knew what he wanted to do with his life. His fortune would no longer be measured by what he owned, but by the lives he could change. From that day forward, hospitals were built. Shelters opened their doors. Children found books. The hungry found bread. And lonely hearts found hope. The old storyteller gently closes his book. He looks into the lantern's warm light and quietly says, "We often believe that wealth is measured by what we keep, but the richest hearts are remembered for what they choose to give. Sometimes one generous idea is worth more than a lifetime of gold." Until our lantern shines again, take care.